All right. I really did want to start not having so many of my videos be me in the car, but I figured since it's been like, I don't know, over 6 weeks, right? It's been quite a while. I think I gave 1 or 2 updates post-op, and that was the last time I talked to the camera. Talked to the phone. So 7 weeks ago Friday was surgery. Recovery, I believe, has been going quite nicely. I saw my specialist here in Greenville. She's an adult congenital cardiologist. And as far as I can tell, she's the only one that Prisma has. So she's my specialist. And saw her a week ago today. In fact, right about this time last week, I was on the way. And she was quite pleased. Everything looked well. She didn't even look at my scar. I was like, man, that's the only unique thing about me anymore is this big, nice zipper up my chest. Which I did measure, by the way, you know, because guys measure things like that. 9.5 inches. So, anyway. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I did bend the rules a little bit and started a little bit of weightlifting before I was actually cleared to do any of that kind of stuff. I was cautious and only did isolation exercises. In other words, curls, tricep extensions, lateral raises, and front raises. Nothing pulling, nothing pushing, no legs, no weight on my torso, blah, blah, blah. And that, I actually have come to like that, and I'm probably going to keep doing that. I was doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 sets of 20. So I was getting high rep, low weight, obviously, very low weight. But I'm building that up now slowly. And, yeah, so last Monday, when Dr. Schonbog, cleared me to start resuming normal activities just at a reduced, weight, I did that twice last week, a push-pull. Excuse me, goodness gracious, I got all kinds of issues today. So when I say push-pull, I mean incline dumbbell press, and the opposite motion would be bent over dumbbell row, and then a lat pull down with the opposite motion being a shoulder press. So 3 sets of 15 of each, supersetted. Those were supersets. And so that felt pretty good. And then Saturday I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to do legs eventually. I know it's going to hurt. So Saturday I put the 20-pound sandbag on my shoulders and did 10 box squats followed by 10 dumbbell deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts with only 15-pound dumbbells. I kept it light. And I supersetted that 5 times, 10 reps each. And today I'm so sore I want to die. First leg workout, if you want to even call that a leg workout, in over 7 weeks. And yeah, I'm pretty much dying. Anyway, that's the way it is. So in case there's something I left out or forgot, a quick recap. 7 weeks ago Friday, I had open heart surgery with for a VSD repair. VSD is commonly known as a heart murmur. It's basically, it stands for ventriculoseptal defect. It's the wall between your ventricles, the 2 larger bottom chambers of your heart. And I had a hole in the wall between them. And that the murmur sound, why it's called a murmur, is because there's abnormal blood flow. There's blood flow leaking through that hole. So my heartbeat was not your typical bump bump. It was whoosh, bump, whoosh, bump, which is kind of weird. So they went in, you know, they have to cut your sternum in half, open up your rib cage, take your heart out, put you on a heart-lung pump, heart-lung machine, whatever you want to call it, that pumps your blood and oxygenates it while you're under anesthesia in the OR for what turned out to be about 6.5 hours. They had a hard time finding the hole. It was so small. And apparently small holes are worse because not only are they louder, but they also can have greater suction in the wrong direction, which is why they also had to do an RVOT, right ventricular outflow tract. So the blood, the tract out of the right ventricle, the valve was being, one of the flaps was being sucked open, basically. So the blood flow was not, the blood wasn't getting oxygenated properly, and the blood flow was inefficient. Almost immediately after the surgery, I mean, when I finally came to and was like cognizant of everything. So I was out from like 6 a.m. till about 11 p.m. that night. And the brain fog was real from all that anesthesia. But the brain fog was real, and I came to, and when I started like being more aware of what was going on, I felt like I could already tell the difference. My heartbeat was strong. I guess in a somewhat real sense, stronger than it's been my entire life. And I had one of those moments. I know I'm repeating myself from a previous video, but it's been a while. I had one of those moments that you see, like the little kid getting cochlear implants and hear mom's voice for the first time. So when I heard my heartbeat normally for the first time, I was overwhelmed. It was like, oh my God, my heart works normal now. So anyway, that was kind of cool. So yeah, recovery's been going well. They wanted me to make sure I was walking at least 30 minutes a day. And I thought, well, I'm not seriously going to time myself to walking. But I did kind of eventually just start making sure I walked a minimum of 30 minutes on the treadmill. But now that's become ordinary. I don't know, maybe ordinary isn't the right word, but I'm walking on the treadmill every day. I started on the spin bike earlier than I was supposed to, but it was not a problem. And then last week, with Dr. Schonbog's clearance, I got back on the elliptical. I have not yet gotten back on the rower or ski erg, but I'm thinking maybe this week I suck it up and get back to doing that. That's going to be really tough, I think. Those are muscles that have been very inactive for the last 7 weeks. And that's a more intense exercise than what I've been doing. You may recall that I've mentioned before how the row is definitely more intense than the elliptical or bike or any of that, and then the ski is definitely more intense than the row. So I'll ease back into those things, and we'll get there eventually. As far as the weights I'm lifting, I'm not thrilled with it, but it's a start. Just out of caution, I'm doing pretty light weights, half or less on almost everything I was doing before. So anyway, a lot of help from Sarah and her family, a lot of help from the VA. I know there are people out there who have not had good experience with the VA, but I can't complain a whole lot about my experience with them. Not a big fan of my father's doctor, but otherwise everything else has been pretty good. It doesn't help me personally that the director of the VA clinic, who is a former classmate of mine, or schoolmate, we weren't in the same class, and his parents were long family friends, and he's the director now of that VA clinic, and he told me that my father's doctor is a rock star. They all just, whatever. She's a good doctor. So whatever, I'll take his word for it. Maybe it's just a personality conflict. Yeah, he said she's a very good doctor. When I mentioned my father's previous doctor, Dr. Koenig, he said, oh, Koenig was a rock star. Yeah, so she was the rock star, not the current one. Anyway, and my father still says, I wish we could still see Dr. Koenig. But anyway, so the VA's been very helpful. I will not go back to work for another few weeks. I was cleared by Schonbog to go back to work, but the schedule for June had been made until June 20th. So that will be my return date. And let's see what else. So after getting home from Charleston, the initial trip, I still was not eating much. And my weight got down to 255. 256, somewhere around there. 255 something, put it that way. And I'm back to 261 I was this morning. So I do intend to keep going the other direction, but not by not eating, because I do need some energy to do what I'm doing, even if it's not what I'm used to doing. I guess that's about it on the recovery aspect. Last week something happened that I was fearful would never happen in my lifetime. Fearful I would never see the day. But my Spurs won a trophy. My Spurs won a big trophy. Tottenham Hotspur won their 4th European Europa, essentially, even though they changed the name of it. So it's always nice to win a European trophy. First time in 41 years we won a European trophy. First time in 17 years we won any kind of trophy. So maybe a little bit of the heat will be off of all the constant nagging and harassing that people that pull for a team like Tottenham get. So yeah, that was kind of nice. Oh man, all the recycling bins are slam full. So anyway, what else? Not a whole lot. Anything else fun and exciting? Premier League's over, so that was yesterday was the last day for that. I don't know. It's pretty weird when that's like all you've been about for this long. 7 weeks of just rehabbing. There's weird moments, like if my arms are extended out to the side and I take a halfway deep breath, that it's a little uncomfortable. I'm sure that's just the fact that my lungs and sternum are still getting used. Well, maybe not my lungs so much anymore, but my sternum is getting used to that spread, if you want to call it that. I don't even know what you want to call it. But yeah, sometimes, like last night, laying in bed, I kind of rolled flat on my stomach, and for a brief moment I was like, oh, that's not comfortable, but then I was fine. I guess that's about it. You're all caught up. Nothing fun and exciting has happened lately. Nothing earth-shattering. One of my best friend's mom died, and today's her birthday. It kind of sucks. I haven't gone to visit the Y because I kind of feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I think it comes off as attention seeking because I'm not going in there to work out. I guess I'm just going to say hi to people. But I'm going back to work in 3.5, 4 weeks, whatever it is. When I say hi to them, then they've been without me for this long. And I've had about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of them that have reached out and been in touch with. But anyway, today's pretzel day, so I got to get a pretzel. Obviously, I'm not going to get the recycling emptied because the bins are absolutely overflowing. You can see this guy back here. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Almost looks like he's picking trash up off the ground. Maybe he works for the city. Oh yeah, he does. Poor sucker. He's the one that's got to pick up for all the assholes who just leave shit on the ground. Damn, dude. Sorry, man. People suck. People suck. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to put stuff in the recycling bin, and you can see in there, and you see all kinds of shit that should not be in there. People just use it as a trash can, and that's just lazy assholes. Sounds like a name of a good band, doesn't it? Lazy Assholes. Yeah, we just shit everywhere. Hey, Yeah, they're shitting everywhere. Sorry, stream of consciousness. I get a massage today. I'm excited about that. It's the first one since prior to the surgery. Just because I wasn't sure for a long time, I wasn't sure I could lay face down. But I'm good now. I hope it goes well today. What else? Anything else? I don't think so. I keep looking for things that I should have probably been talking about all along. Did I mention how bad my legs hurt? Even just sitting here. Oh, I'm such a wuss. Don't skip leg day, kids. You'll pay for it.